Hello friends, we are in Sofia, Bulgaria, visiting the BalkanRuby conference, and today with us we have Radoslav Stankov, who used to be the CTO in Product Hunt, and now he runs a company named AngryBuildings. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So
Tell us how was it at Product Hunt? What did you build there, and how is it to be like the
Yeah, I was one of the early engineering hires. I spent 8 years at Product Hunt.
Wow.
And after our acquisition to AngelList, the team some of the team went to AngelList, and at some point I needed to rebuild the team, and that's the moment I became the head of engineering there, and I started having had to basically rebuild our engineering team.
Yeah.
I mean, not from scratch. We had like 2, 3 people, and for 4 years I was the one who was doing all the technical management of the engineering team there.
I know that AngelList uses Ruby.
Yeah.
And does Product Hunt still use Ruby?
Oh yeah. So the architecture of Product Hunt it started as a traditional Rails app with Backbone.js in the front end, but it still uses Rails, but it uses Rails for a GraphQL API server that powers Next.js front end application. And again, the architecture of Product Hunt evolved in the 8 years I was there.
Of course.
Okay, and now you're running AngryBuildings.
Yeah.
What is this?
So AngryBuilding is a facility management software. So this is the software where the people who manage the building. So in Bulgaria, we have this concept of domopraviteľ. This means each building is like a small company, and the building people pay taxes for living in that building, and those taxes are actually it's called like fees. Those fees are used to maintain the building, and they have to say, oh, when our roof starts leaking, okay, we are taking from these funds money to repair the funds. We are paying for cleaning. If an elevator breaks out, who is the person responsible for having the maintenance of this building? So we are building the software for managing this process, because having individuals do that is doable, but you start to become the most hated neighbor. And there is a lot of companies that can better do that for you. And we are making basically their ERP systems that they manage everything in those processes from one end. And on the other end, everybody who lives in the building actually can download an app and actually can see, oh, who is not paying their fees? How much money is the building have? Where all those money going? Like, because every person cares about
saving money.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, why I'm paying this?
Yeah.
Where are my money going? And the third thing is, I have an issue. Who should I call?
Yeah.
What should I do? And we start from this problem to kind of build this system. And our goal is, in a couple of years, to rebrand as Happy Building, because to achieve the goal.
That's good. That's a good one.
And how big is the team? As I understand, you have just one engineer.
Yeah, so it's me.
Engineer.
Yeah.
And like
One CTO.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have
one CTO managing
I'm managing myself.
You have the best boss, right?
Yes. I mean, I have a lot of difficult conversation with me. But yeah, with the team we have right now 5 people. So we have one of my co-founders. He is coming from sales, and we have another salesperson. We have marketing and support person, and we have like a visual director for like the branding and all that stuff. And they're because of the business is very. It turns out like we didn't plan it to be like that. I was dreaming onboarding, like people filling up web forms, and I never talk with customers. But it turns out, because we're making a business software, we need a lot of in-hand experience, on-phone experience, and support and sales. So it's a lot of B2B sales, and those people are very important for that part.
And when would you consider hiring another developer so that you're a 2-engineer company?
When I can afford it. That's the simple answer. When the business actually can afford another engineer.
Okay.
I actually hired a consultancy company to did couple of integrations, because I found out that if I needed to learn the things that we were integrating with, it would be more money, and I'm going to lose clients for this. So at that point, I hired one help here and there. But yeah, the goal would be when I can afford it.
one question I have, like in your talk, you speak about, some very cool things, like this is how we prioritize things. And this is how we figured out that the things that are important that we fast track. This is how we figured out, like, on Fridays, you said that, you're fixing bugs. Where do you get the time, or do you take some time to analyze the processes, like, and the things that are happening, and like, okay, I should maybe think, how did we work like this month?
I do.
Can we improve something, or?
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly, this is in the back. Like this is a professional defect.
Yeah.
Or when I was at BalkanRuby,
Yeah.
one of my jobs was to find processes and kind of seeing patterns. And
Okay.
I always said my job there was to remove friction
Yeah.
and make the operation run smooth. And I just noticed stuff like that. And I'm doing a lot of talks. I'm doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see, because again, a lot of the time I'm working alone. I need to put stuff into words in order to have something feasible to think about. So a lot of the things happened naturally. A lot of the things happened because experience. Some of those things are discovered, and some of those, I actually realized this is how I prioritize things. Like the Friday thing it happened very naturally. We say, okay, we have an office, I don't go there. I work in the co-working upstairs. Like actually my desk is over there, just above us. I work here because I don't want to be disturbed if I'm in our company office where we have clients. When it says I would be like very unproductive. So I say, okay, every Friday I'm coming and let's have this meeting. And this meeting is not very structured. It's very messy. And it's a lot around what's the hottest thing on your mind. Like, for example, somebody on our support was complaining, oh man, this is so hard, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I will fix it.
Yeah.
Or this is the moment when I'm talking with our salesperson and he was like, okay, I cannot make a sale because those companies are having all their data with one of our competitors and they have like 5 years of data. And this is a big blocker for us to sell there. And I'm like, okay, let's write an importer that can import it. Is this possible?
Yeah.
And he was like, jaw drop. And I was like, yeah. He's like, why? And he was like, why don't tell me earlier? I'm like, I didn't know this was a problem.
Yeah.
And this is all those things we are kind of like doing in this part. And because Friday is not going to be my productive day, this is the time I'm doing all those maintenance things, which I know them are very important. Like at Product, we had something called bug duty in the end. Like we experimented a lot with things, but we had this process called bug duty where engineer on the team during the sprint work, one engineer would be basically the bug fixer. So we put them out. So if there's an emergency, if there was like a bug tracker and I noticed that a lot of stuff got accumulated. But if you just clean up stuff time to time, it's easier over time.
Okay, I have a different question.
Yeah.
What is your front-end stack?
At AngryBuilding? All right. So the front-end stack at AngryBuilding right now is I use the basic Rails. I use Tailwind. I actually brought Tailwind UI to style that. I don't have almost any custom CSS. On the JavaScript front, I don't use the only JavaScript external library I use is the UGS Rails and the UGS with zero dependency Rails for like post action, like post submit and all of that data helpers. And I just have customly written JavaScript for the everything else. And everything else is not that much. It's like I showed in the slides. I just make a grep and it's like 1020 lines.
It sounds like you're using Rails 6 and you don't use Hotwire.
I'm with actually I don't know what's the latest version of Rails. I'm with it. I'm like latest Rails, but I don't use any Hotwire, any stimulus, just because I actually don't need them. Like they add a lot more complexity to my problems, complexity to my application, which I don't need at this moment. It's not something I'm saying no because they're bad technologies or I don't like them. It's just because they won't add any value to my customers. And my app looks like a single page app. Like I was showing somebody, oh, this is this, and this. Oh, yeah, that's not nice. Cool, you use this. No, it's just full page reloads because I use Tailwind. Tailwind just gives you one small CSS file. I have a 1,000-line JavaScript. How fast is that? I actually don't even have like Google Analytics in the main app. I don't need it. So it's actually really fast to actually render the data. So it looks like a single page app in a lot of places. And yeah, I have one place I actually use Ajax because we have one of our killer features. Surprisingly, none of our competitors have that. It's like Omni search field where somebody's calling you on a phone, you enter a phone and you can see this is the customer, this is the apartment, this is what they own.
Yeah.
And this is the only more
So easy.
stuff I need. But it's like a simple Omni search, nothing. And I use the HTML. I use a lot of HTML goodies. Like for example, I'm very big master of the summary HTML tag, where with summary you can open, close it, you can style it. Like my mobile version is like it has this button and it's just a summary and styled with that. I don't need anything more.
That's perfect.
And I use the dialogue and I use a lot of that. So that's the reason my front end stack there. It's very simplistic. Yeah, in some of ways, it's not the best UI, but works.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Great. Thanks for joining us for this mini episode. And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
maybe someday you will join for a full episode.
Sure. Well, I'm always glad to talk about me.
Okay. Friends, thanks for watching.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah, bye bye.